kobolds, basically.
And what do they get in return?
They get
What do
to
you trade them for?
stay. They get to live here, without being killed, all of them at once.
What do you scribe on these plates?
We talk about the ice.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, and you can glance at these tablets, and over the years you can see that the kobolds have actually taught them Draconic, a very very fluent. Over time, they taught the frogs Draconic, and as things evolve, it's like a very long philosophical story, and scholars would eat these up in Waterdeep, especially if they knew that these were created by a giant white frog. You've never seen or heard of these giant white frogs before. So scholars, these could possibly be worth some money.
That's why I'm talking his ear off.
Yeah, they're about 3 feet wide, and they're pretty heavy. Each one's probably about 15 pounds, 20 pounds. And it talks about the island. It talks about how a Rothator once a Rothator claimed this iceberg as his own. Things began to go downhill. There were a lot of different species that were here, a lot of different other animals.
Yeah. At this point, I'm translating what he says to me.
Yeah, they talk
Okay.
about
Right.
an ancient. You can see that at one point there was an ancient mer, like an ancient merman that used to live on here, and then other humans came here. That's when they were introduced to humans, and as the timeline goes on, it just seems to get worse and worse. For the ice frogs, they used to live above the caverns, but then as time went by, they were just pushed into these caverns, where this is where they actually stayed. And then
When's the last time you saw any visitors?
There were
Outside of the...
there were the oh yeah, that's a great question. They call them the fur skin humans. They stopped coming. Once in a while, they would get whale oil from them. That's how they would get their whale oil, and they haven't seen them in a month. So their whale oil supply is starting to be depleted, and they're concerned that they're going to run out of whale oil and not have light anymore, because they're dependent on this oil. Because they were a top dwelling frog, so they depended on the sun, and as they were basically forced down into these caverns, they didn't have the ability to see in the dark, so that's why they're dependent of this oil. Frank, thanks very much. Frank, the NPC.
Left?
Not much. They can show you if you'd like to see. They don't. And then they ask you, do you have oil? Do you have whale oil? We will trade. We'll trade you tablets. We'll trade you our story.
We don't have any oil on us, but maybe we can arrange some trade. I can tell the people of my land of you and maybe open up some trades.
Ooh, they like that.
I could, if you're still translating, Vey.
Yeah,
They say there are more lands past our home.
Oh, there's a whole world out there of many crazy things that you probably haven't seen.
As a matter of fact, I might want to
Every Saturday and Sunday,
summon
Frank.
or
Friday,
cast
Saturday,
light
Sunday.
on a maybe little outcrop or something, maybe one of
But I
these
stream video
bowls or
games during
something.
the week.
The
D&D
light
on the
lasts
weekend.
for an hour, but I'll go ahead and, as Vey translates this to me, I'll cast light, and it can be any color, so I'll do a kind of a more calmer light, so it won't be so sharp for their eyes, like a grayish kind of light. And then I'll cast that on there and kind of let it light up this area for a bit.
Ooh, the frogs love that. They start to croak in unison. It seems like it seems like they're happy. They like that.
So Vay, tell them if they need light, we can give them a lot of light, but it'll only last for an hour. If we want to start trading, the
Yeah.
thought is maybe we can get maybe we can get some of these tablets and we can use them to trade with the kobolds as well in case we run into them. Maybe that's our parlay to get to the dragon or even to the tiefling.
All right.
Yeah.
What I tell them is, I tell them to take this light now as a gift, and we
Ooh.
will open up more trade with you for later.
They one of the toads tell you to wait here. They would like to introduce you to their leader, Marfolb, or better yet, they would like to introduce you to him. So please follow them.
All right. I translate. What do you guys think?
Let's do it. I
Yeah,
agree.
I
I
agree.
think this would be a good. They don't seem to be attacking us, so that's always plus.
Yeah, it's always to make new friends.
I like
I say it
that.
in common.
Good job.
It'd be nice to have friends for a battle that might happen later. Who knows?
Oh yes, this
Might
voice
be
is
useful, yeah.
friends. We have no friends. The kobolds are our friends, and still the kobolds come and take one of them once in a while.
Oh,
But-
where do they take? Oh, well, that's okay. I
you
wouldn't
can
have
tell.
heard that.
You can definitely tell that the frogs, as you're kind of glancing over at the tablets once in a while and reading, because you would be doing that, because you can read Draconic and also Widow. These tablets, they talk about many different things, and it talks about how ruthless Arathator is towards not only the frogs but the kobolds also. But it talks about some trolls that are also in the cave, how they've visited, but basically Arathator leaves them alone because it still needs sacrifices once in a while, and because
Hey, we
of
can help.
the reproduction, of the frogs and the kobolds, that's why they're pretty much left alone.
We can help thinning out the troll herd too, Vave. Let them know that if there's a tremendous fear or trepidation against trolls, we could probably take one or two of them down for them if that's what we need to do to show our how great we are as a partner.
No,
We
well,
could also help you with the troll situation if it ever comes to that.
no, they would. Sorry, I'm getting this all
It's fine.
opened up.
So they're going to introduce us to Marfold.
Yeah,
huh, Faye?
they're going to introduce you to Marfold. Yeah, Marfuld. Marfold. Yeah, they escort
Okay.
you all the way back into the rear of their chamber. And as you're being taken into their lair, the temperature drops about. I would say it's pretty noticeable. It's about a 10 to 15 degree drop as you're making your way to the chamber, and it kind of comes up to a dead end and then starts to travel east, and it would be miserable here for you, but it seems like these frogs,
Wow,
it's
even colder.
perfect. Yeah, it's perfect home for the ice toads, and it's
Perfect home for cold-blooded creatures.
yeah. Oh gosh, there's a bunch of scraps of bone. Looks like some teeth, probably of like a walrus. There's also some spears that are against the wall, and there's also some very oddly shaped furniture that are kind of lining the walls, and there's several more frogs up on these pieces of furniture.
What's the furniture made of?
Wood and scraps, basically anything that the frogs could basically get their hands on.
Did you say the trees grow in this iceberg?
No, there are no. You saw no trees at all.
Okay.
Nothing that bared any wood at all. The only wood that you had seen was the trap door that Shrump had found in the Great Hall. Well, the biggest
I may
tent.
trip you up here, but I'm gonna ask them where they got the wood for these.
There was a place that basically trash was thrown down to them from the men that wore hides. They call them the men that wore hides. They would throw things down, and this is how they got all of that stuff. They used it. They used whatever
Oh,
they could.
fantastic.
They could use whatever they could find.
Hey, I think it's funny in chat that Joe Mamis and Nightmare both said to trade Tiberius to stay down here to provide them infinite light forever
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
for their lives. It's like, yeah, that'd be awesome for you.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, that's right.
You could be the new king of the frogs.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, King of the Toads.
You know, they also have. There's a couple pieces of what appear to be driftwood logs, and a couple other cups and stuff. So they've got that, and as you're introduced to Merfolk, he offers you a treasure. He offers you, and he actually stands up on his rear 2 feet and
Ooh.
literally walks over to you. So it seems like
Does he look any different than the other frogs? I mean,
no.
Is there a way that we can tell him different as the king, or do they all just look like
No,
ice toads
they
to
all
us?
kind of look the same.
Okay. It's kind of racist, but whatever.
No, you're
All
They all
frogs,
look the
all
same,
ice
yeah.
toads look the same to me.
They all look like toads.
you're fine with that. No, but he offers you a cup, and he tells you that it was a gift that they had found many years ago as they were dwelling on the surface of their home, and the water brought them gifts periodically. At they call at the edge of their world or the shore, there would be gifts that were brought to them by their gods. Basically, shit that was floating in the water.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I tell him
basically,
that
yeah.
these gifts come from our lands.
So, he's excited. He says, "Oh, your people give us gifts."
Yeah, because we have so much of it. And just give it away. There's so much more in our lands than this.
They ask you if you have any blankets with smallpox. No, I'm just kidding. They did.
I'd use the blankets myself.
It is definitely, especially in this chamber, it's about 10 degrees cooler than, so it's damn near 10 degrees, 0 degrees in here.
Jeez, Vay, why is it so cold in this chamber? Why is it colder here?
So I'll offer you a cup, and they tell you he wants to know more about your land. He's only seen the big humans of that, where they ask if you are related to them and where are they, because they
I
need
tell him I would
they
trade
need
some
whale
stories.
oil. They need whale oil.
For some of his tablets, for now.
Oh, we will trade you many tablets. We will trade you all of our tablets, because we do nothing but write them over. That is what we do. We write tablets, and kobolds take, and we
I'm assuming
remake
these tablets are made out of ice.
No, they're made out of stone.
Where did the stone come from?
The stone is now, as you came into this chamber, as I was saying, it kind of transitioned from solid ice to like stone walls, and they were carving on the stone walls, and the plate fell out, and you notice that the frog pulled the plate out and offered you the plate, and it was like a stone plate, sort of like
Okay.
sort of
Well,
like
my
a
questioning now
size of a
changes
trapper
to-
keeper.
Where did they come from?
Where does
are
what
they
come
all
from?
in this iceberg?
All of their frogs are here. All of them.
No, the
are
stone.
here.
The stone. Where does it come from?
It's here. It's the earth. It's what the God has provided all around you, and you look, and the walls are made of stone.
So we're in an iceberg with a stone bottom. It sounds like
Where
Vay.
you're at now, where you're at now is made of stone. Yeah.
Well, see, I suspected it wasn't an iceberg at all.
No, there's stone. There are stone walls now.
We're actually on land, I think.
Interesting.
All right. Well, then great. How many tablets do they get, or do I need to
There are
or is that
tons.
significant?
I'll tell you what. Do any of you have a bag of holding?
I do.
I have a portable hole.
I have a bag of holding.
You could fit all of these tablets in a bag of holding,
Okay.
and
I'll do that
it
then.
would fill your bag of holding to the rim.
Alright, that's fine. I wasn't using it for anything else until now.
They ask you what do you trade for our tablets? For our story. He keeps calling them their story. Our story.
For now, I tell him that we'll trade it for our stories. And that we will offer trade for more at the later date when we can come back.
Ooh.
Because we don't have anything with us.
They
We could trade them light, and safety.
Yeah,
that's true.
Marfol
We do
ask
have the
you
light that we've given you.
if you have. How long does that last? So an hour, right?
1 hour.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna
We
recharge.
told him
I'm gonna
that.
recharge things before I leave, though. Just to be on the safe side.
Yeah,
Please.
Marfol ask you if you have whale oil. They seek
I do not
whale
have any
oil.
on me. Does anyone have any oil?
And this
We
magic
saw some-
light. You know,
we saw a bunch of whale oil at the top.
Yeah, there
we
was
could take
a
one of
couple-
the
yeah.
we could take one or two of these toads and lead them back to just vats and vats of endless whale oil.
There are a couple large, very large, probably 70, 80 gallon barrels of oil up top.
Infinite. So let them know, Vay, that there is more whale oil than they would use in 100 years. I don't know how much they use, so I'm just guessing.
Alright, I do know where you remember that you said that the men with hides that would throw things down?
Yes. Where are they? They have not been around in some time.
We found them that they are dead. They have died.
Did Arothator sacrifice them as
No,
tribute?
we didn't see signs of that. It looked like maybe they starved to death. Or from the ones that we saw.
Ooh.
But
That is
there is a
interesting.
large shipment of whale oil there that could last years and years and years.
Ooh, his eyes light up, and he would like to have this whale oil, if it is possible.
Sure, I will show you where it is, and any of you can go up there and get it without any problem.
Yeah, we'll need a couple toadies.
We even have ropes there. We ask that you don't damage the ropes, but you can climb in and out of the hole.
Okay. And he offers you, for this oil, he offers you tablets. He offers you our story.
Alright, I'll take them.
Okay, sure. It's going to take you a while. There are probably a couple hundred tablets. So as you're
So they're scribing them as we talk or whatever.
yes, all of the they are all in the chamber with you and Worm and everyone else. Now, as you start pulling these plates out and you start putting them into your bag of holding, this talks about all of Arothator and his massive treasure hoard, all the different pretty colors and magics, and talks about Arothator's mating habits, how other dragons come to see him from time to time, big battles that were fought here with
Oh, nice.
yes, a big battle with giants was fought here at one point, and Arothator slain many giants. And,
So is there anything on Rothator's weaknesses?
or
Or desires, maybe?
Nothing about that. No, it just goes into their ever-changing story of as they were surface dwellers and now they've been
Okay.
restricted to this just this area of the glacier, and how their family, as they call it, are taking one at a time to basically please Arothator or to basically sacrifice to the dragon.
Well, that's really interesting that there's an entire species that lives in a certain way that's kind of, eked out a little bit of a living down here. But it doesn't really seem like it can be maintained very long with trolls and kobolds and arathitors.
Scientifically speaking, it looks completely shit.
Oh,
But this is a
in here,
magical land.
absolutely, it is. This is like all trash to you guys.
We forgo all
yeah.
that science stuff.
Yeah, and he's amazed with your bag as he watches you peel these. As the other frogs are peeling these plates out of the wall, and as soon as they peel the plate out, they did just start carving right behind it, and it's they're carving out the outline of a piece of tablet, and he says it is a very, very long process to write down our story, but that is what we do. That is what we do. We tell our story.
Well, as a scholar, these are very valuable.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Going to be taken right back and studied.
Oh yeah, the scholars of Waterdeep, and in fact, you would even know that the Mage Society, the Arcane Brotherhood of Luskan, they would fucking love to have these.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Any
We want
place.
them to work for us or work with us.
Well,
That's meant to be a good bargaining chip.
yeah. So, what do you guys think? It takes you, I would say it probably takes you several, you're here for several hours. So as Vey is communicating with it, what are you doing in Tiberius and Shrump?
Well, I'm just watching what Vey's doing, wondering what's going on, and realizing there's not very much I can add to any of this.
Yeah, it seems like they has pretty much got this under control, but I'm kind of anxious to go ahead and.
I changed this up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm helping.
I kept the
Vey load
frogs,
up
but I just kind of made them more
portable hole
intelligent than what they
with
were.
these tablets, Dave.
I'm putting it
Okay.
in my bag of holding.
Did I say portable hole? I'm sorry.
Sure.
I'm helping her load up the bag of holding with these tablets because I realized that there's a scientific value, but it's all going to come back down to money, money, money. This is something else I can put in the Tiberius Vault of Achievement.
Right.
That's what it's all about for me, Dave. That's the only reason I adventure, is to get these things that nobody has seen before. And here's an entire race that nobody's dealt with before, and they're intelligent and they have a story. This is something that'll be great in the Tiberius Vault.
Yeah, shit, hell yeah. Yeah, you've never
Kobolds knew
encountered
about them.
intelligent frogmen. You've never
Well,
never
bullywugs.
encountered those. Hey, they're on their quadrupedals and bipedals. You've seen they have spears. They can fight with spears. So they can fight.
So Vey, I wonder, is it possible if these guys hate the kobolds, or maybe we can get them to hate the kobolds? Is it possible for us to somehow use these guys as an army to help us attack this tiefling? Or
Well,
worst
they said earlier
case,
they
the
don't hate the
Rathator.
kobolds. That's their only friend.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
They do hate the trolls, I think.
Okay. Well, once we get these,
They
once
don't
we get
seem
these
too
tablets,
keen on a Rothator as well. They don't seem too keen with them either.
I mean, if once in a while somebody gets pulled away by kobolds to go feed a Rathator or
Kobolds.
whatever the heck is happening, you think that they wouldn't think that that's their best friends, right?
Well,
But
Wait, Dave, do they know they're being fed and sacrificed?
Oh yes.
Oh, I didn't catch that part.
Oh yeah.
I guessed,
Uh-huh.
but yeah.
Yeah, they tell you, yeah. That is their payment to stay here. Their
So I'll tell you
payment
what-
is to stay here and to produce, other frogs to appease, their ruler basically.
Well, I let them know that they don't have to stay here. There are many other great places that they could go. If they wanted, we could show them some. And, you don't have to live in the control of a dragon. I'm not going to tell them that we'll kill the dragon for them, not just yet.
They're just
do wanna let
amazed
them know
that
they
you
don't
speak
have
of
to
other
stay here.
glaciers out there, other homes that they could dwell and live.
Yeah, there's a whole sea of ice out there. There's anywhere that you could go besides here.
Ah, you know what this reminds me of? Remember the vending machine in Buzz Lightyear with all the little green guys?
That's right.
The
Yeah.
claw. Oh, the claw. That would be great. No, they're up for it. He's definitely up for it.
Well, I'm good with whatever you guys want to, whatever deal that you and Marfold make, and just creatures are creatures. Everybody deserves a chance to live a better life. That's what I say. No reason to live under the thumb of any kind of opposing force like freaking Arathator. Let's get him. Who's with me?
Old Marfold, yeah. Marfold.
Maybe we should give him that present from R.C. Collins. That Christmas present. Give it to Marfold.
No.
Good
Uh,
lord.
I don't
Nothing
think
open it before
so.
only if he opens it before Christmas.
Yeah, only if he's the guinea pig that's gonna open it now.
That's right. I mean, the funniest things is, these guys have never seen a fireball. I know a great way you can just totally surprise them.
We'll stand together over here, and I'll show you what a fireball's like.
I've never done fireballs before in any of my games. What are you talking about?
What I do, Dave, is I mark in the ice or the snow over here. I think there's some snow anywhere that I can just kind of scribble out a map of where
Oh,
we've been and where
I
that
like
toll
that.
is, and let them know where they can go get all the oil that they want.
Oh, you hear lots of oohs and ahs, oohs, ahs. The frogs love to hear that.
And then I'll also
Croaking.
make a couple of light spots in the cavern, and just to exercise, to show them something they haven't used to seen.
Okay, all right.
It's just a cantrip, so it's super easy.
Oohs and ahs more. They love it. Well, they think you guys are the big cheese, man.
So now, Morfold, just to let you know, we should now be included as part of your story, as liberators.
He doesn't know what you're saying, but I would guess.
Oh shit, that's right.
I would guess
forgot.
widow or yeah, widow
To him,
or
he's just
they
like, it's
would
like Charlie
yeah.
Brown.
And he says,
Right.
yes, of course, yes.
Everything I translate back to them, I kind of
Yeah,
put
I
a
figured
softer
you
edge
would.
to it. And I tell them,
Oh,
yeah,
he's
you could.
he's happy.
Maybe
He says,
maybe you can add us to your story now.
oh, he says that has already begun. And he tells you that story is already being written.
That's Tiber. This is the Team Tiberius. It's the name of our group.
I'll pronounce
no.
our names to him in Draconic so he can write them out.
Okay.
Or sound them out for him.
Problem is, Draconic for widow is biatch. You didn't know that, did you? That's Draconic for widow.
Nice worm.
Well, have we gathered everything that we needed, or are we ready to move on?
Draconic
Yeah.
for biatch.
Yeah, I think we should
Jesus.
continue our search for the tiefling.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what's
And as
the?
long as
Alright.
we're here, we can come back later. If maybe we want a safe place to sleep for the night.
That's a good point.
Oh, that's very good. Yeah. He says you're more than welcome to be their guest in their home. And that ask you what do you plan to do with them? What do you plan to do with the kobolds? What do you plan to do with the trolls? Merfolk has a lot of questions. What do you plan to do with Arathator? And what do you plan to do with the
since I'm
tiefling?
speaking to them,
Mm-hmm.
I let them know that we don't plan to harm anything currently unless it attacks us first. But we do have some serious issues with the tiefling, and that tiefling has some serious questions to answer.
Yeah, he apologizes he can't give you more information about the tiefling. The